Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents G.I. Joe Tuesday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the G.I. Joe Classified Series Iron Grenadiers. Let's get into it! Let's start things off with a look at the packaging. And here we have on the top, Cobra 132. There's a tab to hang it on a peg hook. It's got that nice like carbon fiber design on it, and it continues throughout the entire packaging. Here we have Cobra Iron Grenadier, nice big window showcasing the figure and accessories for the most part. Cobra Iron Grenadiers G.I. Joe Classified Series. Warning! Don't stick things in your pie hole that do not belong there. 4 and up. Assortment numbers. Hasbro print on the bottom. Small print, fine print, legalese print, made in China print, symbols I'm not going to learn, and a barcode. And maybe another assortment number. On this side, we've got some nice artwork of this version of the Iron Grenadiers. G.I. Joe Classified Series number 132. On this side, we've got number 132, Cobra. We've got his statistics, not his file card, really. His skill set, so it's all there. And then we've got some more of the, a shrunk down, decolored kind of artwork from the other side. And then there's a QR code. You can scan it if you dare. It probably doesn't take you to anything having to do with this character. It probably just takes you to shop.hasbro.com. G.I. Joe Classified Series. On the back, we've got number 132, a partial Cobra logo. Some nice, it looks like possibly practical photography here for this, and it's very nice looking. Look at the Castle Destro in the background, it's really cool. And then probably digital renders for these close-ups of some of the details. And then we have Cobra Iron Grenadiers, again, his skill sets. Parents, GIJoe.com. Attention, don't stick things in your pie hole that do not belong there, especially your French one. Enclosed figure and 12 pieces. A warning, attention, Octoon, don't stick things in any language pie hole that do not belong there. Don't give it to babies. Small, fine, legalese, made in China print, Hasbro print, assortment number, and whatever that is. That, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and the accessories. So first up, let's look at the accessories. And here we have his saber, which is the same saber and sheath as the Crimson Guards. At least the mold is the same. And you can already see it is painted and it's got some scuffing on it. It does come packaged in the sheath. So it does appear like it's molded in black plastic, and it does have a gold paint app. Got the nice Cobra there at the end of the hilt, the pommel. So, and then the sheath, again, it's just a sheath. It's got a gold paint app here at the end of it. And then it's got a post here. And we'll go over where that goes, and it just slides right in there, and it stays due to friction. Next up, we have handy dandy tweezers to help us take a look at some of the smaller stuff. So here we have this pistol, which I believe is reuse from Series 1 Destro. And that makes sense. This one molded in black plastic. It's got this nice gold paint app on it. Here we have a double-barreled machine gun, which I believe is reused from one of the beachheads, possibly the Cobra Island beachhead. And you can see it's molded all in black plastic. It does have this, which is, you know, on a little hinge right there, and it's molded in red plastic. And of course the magazine is removable, and it's a, you know, nice, pretty realistic looking gun. I don't know how true to form a double-barreled machine gun is, but there it is nonetheless. I don't know if that's a real gun or not. And then we have this kind of futuristic looking pistol, which I think is a new piece. Now, I could be wrong, but it does have nice molded details on it. And it looks kind of like a futuristic revolver. So it's pretty cool looking. And then here we have a heavy machine gun, which I'm not sure who this is reused from. Maybe rock and roll. So it's got these red pieces here for this bipod, and they are individual pieces, and they do clip into place there. It's got this handle right here. I don't know if it's supposed to be that bent or not, or if it's supposed to be like that. I don't know. The ammo can is removable. It's got a port right there. It's a post right there on the gun. You put it in there with the bullets facing forward, and it goes right up into where it's supposed to be. And again, nice molded detail on it, and it does have a port on the end of it for blast effects. And let's see, I forgot to say, the pistol does not. And the double-barreled machine gun, yeah, you could probably get a blast effect in one of the barrels, and then that one, no. So let's take a look at his last accessory, which is his helmet. And it's pretty, I don't know, German looking to me, except of course it's got this spine on it rather than, you know, a point. But very World War II German-esque. So, and it's a really cool looking piece. I like that helmet. I think it actually makes the figure look a little better. Raise the camera up a little bit so we can take a look at the figure himself. And look at that Kylo Ren face sculpt, head sculpt. So very, very Kylo Ren-ish. So that's a negative in my book. But when you put the helmet on him, it helps it a little bit, in my opinion. We've got this overlay piece right here that is a holster for the Destro gun, and it does just peg in his back there, and mine was a little bent, so I just, you know, I took my tweezers and stuck them down in there and forced it into the port real good. So it's got some gold paint apps on it right here, and it looks like some red as well. And very nice looking. And on the head sculpt, you know, we've got some all kinds of little paint apps going on in here. So it's very, very cool looking. The uniform itself, very, again, World War II German uniform looking. At least some of the uniforms. And, you know, say what you will, those guys looked sharp. They might not have been the nicest guys, but... And then you can see there's a little skull detail right there, and then we got some paint apps going on the collar here and the tie, and then the buttons, and even the buttons on the strap here are really cool. Again, skull motif on the belt buckle, which is painted gold, and then gold buckle there as well. Then he's got some red trim on the inside, and it looks like maybe this is molded in red plastic because it's red all on the inside there, and then maybe it's painted black. I could be mistaken. But nice sculpted details. And even on the pants, and I think this may be reused from somewhere, but I'm not 100% sure. I do believe the boots are Crimson Guard boots, but again, I could be mistaken. And the arms almost look like Stalker arms, with the little cuffs there at the bottom. Let's take a look at his articulation. He is on, the head is on a dumbbell, so he looks up that high, and he can look down that low. Well, it bounces back up, don't it? So the neck is a separate piece, but there's not a lot of movement going on there. He got a little bit of chicken neck. He's got some waggle. He can do the full exorcist, so that's cool. At the shoulder, he's got butterfly joints. Goes back that far, forward that far. Oh, and when I was talking about the details, I forgot to talk about that one. Look at that. Iron Grenadiers. So you know who he is fighting for. 360 degrees of rotation at the shoulder, and wow, it raises up way past 90 degrees. Cut at the upper bicep for another 360 degrees of rotation. Double hinged pinless knee. That's an elbow, dummy. So double hinge pinless elbow, and it gives you that much bend. 360 degrees of rotation at the wrist, and this one is on an in and out hinge. This one is on an up and down hinge. He does have standard ab crunch, or standard ab hinge there in the middle, and he does have a ball joint at the waist. So in conjunction, he can lean back that far. He can lean forward that far. He does have some hula going on there. 360 degrees of rotation. He can lean this way. He can lean this way. So there's that. Pull down hinge in the hips. And this gets in the way a little bit. So actually on one side it gets in the way a lot. So he can give you that much of the splits because of the overlay. He kicks forward. Not quite 90 degrees. And back about that far. So cut here at the thigh for another 360 degree rotation. Double hinged pinless knee, and it gives you that much bend. There's a boot cut at the upper thigh, gives you 360 degrees worth of rotation, and the ankle tilts down that far, and it feels a little stuck a little bit up that far, and then he does have forward facing pin for rocker. Now as far as storage for his gear, the small pistol goes in this holster right here, and it's got a cut in it there for the trigger guard, so it goes in there. This one also has a cut for the trigger guard, and the destro pistol just goes right in there. So there's that. And his sword or saber, there's a port right here on the overlay, and that post we talked about earlier, and it just pegs in there, so that's pretty cool. And the helmet goes right on top of the head to really complete his look. And then as far as the other two weapons, he does have to hold those in his hand. And you just stick it in there and give it a little twist so the trigger finger goes right through there. And then we try to do the same here on this side. And there you have it, my friends. If you'll stand up, a look at the figure and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Series Iron Grenadier with the G.I. Joe Classified Series Iron Grenadier Battle Android Trooper, the G.I. Joe Classified Series Crimson Guard, and the G.I. Joe Classified Series Cobra Officer. Here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Series Iron Grenadier with the Valaverse Action Force Special Deployment Series Swarm Sentry and the Valaverse Action Force Swarm Scarab. For our last set of comparisons, here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Series Iron Grenadier with, from the Marvel Legends series, making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. From the G.I. Joe Classified Series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black Series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And for a 7-inch scale comparison, from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the G.I. Joe Classified Series Iron Grenadiers, I have to say I'm not the most familiar with Iron Grenadiers, period. And based on things that Hasbro employees have said, you know, this isn't based on the original Real American Hero version of the Iron Grenadier. Now, I'm sure there's some similarities in it, but this is based on a later version of the Iron Grenadier. And I really have to say, you know, without the helmet on it, it kind of has that Kylo Ren kind of look to it. But then after I really got to thinking about it, what this guy really looks like is the MCU Hydra soldiers, the you know, from Marvel Cinematic Universe, from Captain America: The First Avenger. You know, that's kind of the look. The design overall kind of really reminds me of that. The coat and the face mask and the helmet, and you know, it really does remind me of that. But also that is also based on World War II German soldiers' looks. And so, you know, you can take a look at this guy and you know he's a bad guy. Okay, there's no, this might be a good guy. No, you see this guy coming at you, you know he's not a friendly. So there is that to be said about this look, or basing it off of, you know, some real life soldiers. And I have to say, I'm not disappointed with the way this guy looks. And I think the last Iron Grenadier I got was the 3 3/4 Pursuit of Cobra with the super heavy machine gun. That, you know, the machine gun is so heavy it's got this mechanical arm on it, like the heavy weapons from Aliens. The Space Marines had those big heavy guns, or 2 of them did, and they were on arms to help them, you know, carry it because it was so heavy. And so there's that. And even with the Real American Hero versions of this guy, you know, I've read the comic books as an adult. As a kid, you know, I was hit and miss. I didn't read every single issue of Marvel's G.I. Joe, and I really wish I had. As a child, I think I would have enjoyed it. and but I still enjoyed it as an adult. So there is that. So I'm familiar with them from that standpoint, but that's about it. And you know, I never had any of the figures growing up, and so this guy, you know, it really surprised me how much I did like it once I got my hands on it, because I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna get it or not, and then I ended up getting it, and you know, I do like it. And you know, if you're not a fan of Iron Grenadiers period, or the version that this one is based on, then this is probably going to be a pass for you. But you know, if you just like a solid looking action figure that you know is the bad guy, and the colors and everything, this figure just overall looks great. And I do like it, and I'm glad that I decided to pick it up. And for the most part, I think everybody else will be too if you decide to pick it up. But again, I'm not telling you how to spend your money. That's my opinion, and your mileage may vary. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I'm now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.